I've been exploited as well by the medical system, all right, who knows nothing about how to make you better, but knows everything about how to keep you sick. Physically, mentally, and even spiritually, I'm being put to the test. I've been here thus far, and as long as I'm here, I will continue to live. Because life is not suffering, folks. It doesn't have to be. Keeping the entire population in a state of complete and utter mental exhaustion to where you have no choice, you feel, as to take the vaccine, just to have one desperate moment of progression in your life. Just to have a false sense that your freedom is in your own hands. Well, it never was. I've witnessed people manipulating, all right, practically forcing people to get vaccinated. Your very own president bribing people through government means. Think about it. They have absolutely no money to fix your community, but they have all the money, $1.9 trillion, to get people to shoot crap in your system. What does that say about your leaders? What does that say about those who claim older is wiser? Clearly, actions speak louder than words, and the actions have shown completely otherwise. Never before have I seen humanity's decline so rapidly. Worshipping Dr. Fauci like a divine being clearly shows the lack of any form of spiritual belief in their hearts. Because you look for spirituality outside. Whereas with woke culture, who has corrupted the most beautiful religion of all, Buddhism. You see, in Western civilization, the God means ever-knowing, all-knowing. And using Eastern wokeness, enlightenment, in order to manipulate the people into doing their own personal will. Even here in the Netherlands, if you don't abide by the rules that have been extracted onto other people on how you should behave according to their standards, what is this any different, I tell you? Well, I can tell you this for certain. Corruption is like corona. It is everywhere. The road to hell is paved for with good intentions. But have in the United States good intentions ever benefited the people or benefited the needs of the few? You need only look back in history for your answers. You call yourself united, yet everything in your system breeds separation and divide amongst politics, amongst social, economical class, and even, in your own words, racial diversities. Everything that Western civilization has implemented on the world has been a means to divide, not unite. But the citizens are too deep to realize that their leaders are as oblivious to the truth as the citizens. Ask your American Indian male and woman what the truth is like. But no, you won't hear them out. Why? Because they're beneath you. Because your vision of God tells you you are above all approach, above all accountability and or responsibility. What does that say about the Western European mind? Look to the news when they said a successful transfer of power. What leadership you know, real leadership, is authentically based off power? This would show you what the United States is really about. Colonialism, conquering the world at the very cost of everyone and everything around them, without any repercussions. In another video I've made, there's a reason why people are obsessed with chaos. Is because no one can deal, as we have seen, with the chaos of their own mind. I never cared about money. I never cared about any superficiality other than living my life and making a better change, not just for myself, but for all. But as you've seen with those like Barack Hussein Obama and all other who come into the system, for that is where the real problem is. The problem is the system pitting us against each other. Because the system needs chaos in order to provide the illusion of order. But chaos and destruction, as you've seen throughout the patterns of history, is the true goal. Now, psychologically, you might be too tired to listen. Psychologically, I might be too tired to speak. But if I don't die for a cause now, then what is there else to live for? I'm not afraid of death. I'm not afraid of history. I'm not afraid of anything other than not moving forward. And as someone who's been stuck within his mind for a very long time, I can tell you one thing. The journey through authenticity and the journey towards the truth. Not your truth, not their truth, not the Western truth, not the systematic truth, not the Eastern truth. The truth is one that only with the courage to look within will you find that achievable. Now, I dove deeper than any other man had to get to that truth. Kevin Samuels said a very interesting thing about the dynamic of relationships today, which can be equated to how we perceive relations not only within our own communities, but also outside of the very world we have created. Power. Nothing is about balance. It is all about power and whatever means necessary to achieve it. And that has caused all the problems we have faced and are currently and will continue to face if we don't take that journey now to correct from the bottom up. Because in the United States and the rest of Europe, there has to be significant change. And that doesn't mean with pronouns, because we change pronouns thinking that that's going to make a difference. It does not. As a matter of fact, all we have succeeded is creating more confusion, creating more chaos, creating more distortion to keep us not from solving the issues at hand, but continue circling around the same problem until finally we kill ourselves off exhaustion, if not by any other means. I say this now because you are looking at a man who had one question. He had to ask himself over and over again. What is worse? Having everything to lose, like so many people out there who have lost their businesses with nowhere to go, with no foresight for the future? Or having nothing left to live for, as we've seen in the last year and a half alone, how domestic violence, suicides, substance addiction, traumatic experiences in our lives all have gone up dramatically. And instead of facing these necessary issues at hand, we bicker over left and right, up and down. People are not subject to a political agenda. When it comes to your health, that is your individual responsibility as a human being. One that I too, in my youth, and even at this very moment, have denied myself. But you, as an individual, man, woman, or child who is watching this right now, please take care of yourself, or let someone else tell you how to do it. You are in charge of your life. A lesson I had to learn with many ups and downs, painful experiences, painful situations of the body, mind, and spirit, because people are lost and people do need guidance. Am I the one to do it? Yes. Am I the one to tell the story of past, present, and the upcoming future that will not only benefit us, but also future generations to come? Because we've created a world where everyone lives in fear. Everyone lives in stagnation. Everyone lives in a limbo of confusion. And there are, unfortunately, very disturbingly lonely, and unconscious individuals who have had the incentive of getting resources by any means necessary, no matter who they'd have to kill, no matter how many or how much they had to do it. Look at what's happening in Iraq, Palestine. If you follow my Instagram account, you would know that all this conflict is only as a result of a group of a very few benefiting from a lot of destruction. As to the future as it's written right now, there's only 4 possible outcomes: chaos, death, destruction, and hopelessness. Those are the only 4 options at this moment. The illusion of safety that has psychologically been inducted by our governments, not by the people per se in government, but by a rigid system that is in dire need of change. As I'm talking about this right now, people are in the UK are in a second lockdown, or are going into a second lockdown as we speak, for the very reason I had predicted this would happen. As I've said before, we call the new variants Alpha, Delta, as I've said earlier, like that would make the dire situation any better. We are too focused on the wrong things. And the sad part about it is, Western society has profited and exploited name calling to put everyone systematically into their place, as they're doing again. Now, there's a reason for all of this, and it's very deep rooted within our psyche and the psyche of the world that we live in. And because this rigid system no longer holds any weight, as of right now, the world is going to burn unless we make these changes now. And I will work day and night to make this right. I don't care if I live or die. I don't care. I've lost everything 100 times over. But with having that happen to me, I found out the reason why I'm alive. And that is to heal and help in any way I can, for no other benefit other than Mother Earth. Her nightmares, her screams for her children, we treat our women the way we treat women is because we've never learned how to be loving to the greatest woman on this planet, which is the planet herself, the everlasting life giver, which is our great mother, Gaia. Spirituality is the lens of which you make sense of this ever-changing, never stagnant planet. The way forward is the way into your true authentic self. One can only find that journey through challenging themselves. You've had many great influencers, like Jordan Peterson, like David Goggins, like great fitness athletes, great pro athletes, who have challenged the mind and the body. You haven't, however, had one to challenge your spirit. That's why I'm here. My spirit is being challenged and questioned to this very day. But whatever you may think I believe, what I do believe is forward is the only way. But forward the right way. For we already know where the path we're on now is going to lead. Have a good day, and as always, namaste. And take care of yourselves and each other.